poisoning our minds with manufactured truths. For too long, we swallowed the bitter pill of their narratives, believing the lies they spun about our history, our divinity, our very being. The pale Messiah, a phantom of their design, shattered our spirit. Their history, a weapon, their God, a gilded cage. This is not just a fight for street. We rise to redeem our stolen legacy, or we are lost forever. This is Redeem or Destroy. Unapologetic. Raw. Unfiltered. Hosted by June, the voice for the voiceless, and remember, only the facts can start the processes for us to gain our freedom.
Only the facts can start the process for us to gain our freedom. What it do, y'all? It's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live once again. You know what just happened. I got kicked off my broadcast for whatever reason it may be. You know how these people operate. Listen. Listen. It's just one of those days in the neighborhood, man. But I wanted to come on like I did 10 minutes ago. We're gonna dive straight into it. I'm going to show you guys why I will never, and I repeat, never ever join a Hebrew Israelite organization or religious organization ever again. And one of the main reasons why is because of the things I'm going to show you. So without further ado, let me make sure I got everything right again. Okay, good. Let's bring this back. We're going to dive straight into it. Why I would never join a religious organization ever again. Okay? Let's dive straight into it. Check this out.
When we found out Gorilla Hebrew was getting pegged in his ass, I talked about it right away. Got an ass in the when Luke said face down, ass up, that's Gorilla Hebrew.
As you guys can see, you see the mock, the smirk in his face. He's finding a man's flaws as something to be laughed upon. Jokey joke. Now, mind you, these two individuals have debated together, been on TVs, broadcast together, debated other religious beliefs, did feast days with each other. And you're going to hear him say what he's about to say. But I just want to set the stage for you guys and show you why I would never, and I repeat, never, ever, ever join or be a part of any religious organization ever again. And this is one of the reasons. Look.
Face down, ass up. And the woman doing it to her. But when that came out, and here's why, and I need everybody to understand, because of course, before this came out, me and Gorilla was cool. But think.
You heard it out of his own mouth. He says, before this came out, me and him was cool. Never had an issue. Never disrespected his wife, his moms, his brother, his beliefs. Never. We was cool. But look at what he decided to do when he got this information. Look, listen.
You're saying about Solomon and nobody says nothing. Imagine that comes out about Gorilla Hebrew and I don't say nothing. They're gonna say Cap is a hypocrite.
So you built different from all these things, man.
Most High in Christ. That's the way I would.
You're not built different. You're not built different. You're just the same like everybody else. You're just another lost Negro who does not have an identity, who's cleaving onto something that can't be proven, right? And when the opportunity comes for you to take this man's followers and bring them along to your section so you can capitalize, which means you can get more views on YouTube, which means you can get more tithes and offerings. This is what you're doing. You're not built different. You're just the same like every other religious organization. This is the facts. Let's finish. Let's finish.
Barakatah, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah. Now, if you was to tell this man Barakatah and continue this rest of this conversation in Hebrew, this man would not be able to deliver that. Again, and this is my third time doing this broadcast. I don't know what it is. I feel like they don't want me to talk about this. I feel like the handlers of these platforms don't want me to talk about this, because we need to put these people on the forefront. These are the people that are saying to the masses that they are here to do the wills of the Most High. Show me what's righteous in this. Because to do the wills of the Most High, you must be a righteous individual. Show me what's righteous in this. Let's watch it again.
When we found out Gorilla Hebrew was getting pegged in his ass, I talked about it right away. Got an ass in the... when Luke said face down, ass up, that's Gorilla Hebrew. Face down, ass up. And the woman doing it to him. But when that came out, and here's why, and I need everybody to understand, because, of course, before this came out, me and Gorilla was cool. But think about what you're saying about Solomon, and nobody says nothing. Imagine that comes out about Gorilla Hebrew, and I don't say nothing. They're going to say Cap is a hypocrite.
So you built different from all these things, man.
Most High in Christ. That's the way I was raised. Barakatah, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai.
Do you?
When we found out Gorilla...
Most High in Christ. Imagine if this didn't come out and I didn't say nothing. You know what that would have showed you? It would have showed the people how righteous you are. It would have gave individuals an insight on how righteous you are. Because not only was you not throwing this man's dirty laundry for the world to see, but you would have showed the true brotherhood, what Christ did for Peter, what Christ did for John, what Christ did for Matthew, what Christ did for Luke. You would have displayed a pure brotherhood, which would have made other brothers question their attacks. Say, should I really come after this brother? No. And it's not just him, guys. It's not just him. You got the GMC, you got the YUNC, you got all these Hebrew organizations that's supposed to be the followers of Christ take the opportunity to attack a fellow comrade who did probably more work than half these dudes ever did. Who did more work than half these dudes ever did. Some of these dudes that you're seeing in these camps, some of them probably was first taught by this guy named Gorilla Hebrew. But this man took it upon himself to attack him. Now, I'm going to show you some scriptures where even in the scriptures, this behavior is forbidden. Matter of fact, let's pull up the scriptures. Let's pull up the scriptures. Hold on. Let's pull up the scriptures. Let's start off with Galatians. Let's start off with Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. And for those that got a Bible, for those that still reading the Biblos, take the time out to listen to what the word of God, which these dudes supposed to be ministering and mimicking for the world to see. Let's see what the Biblos have to say. Galatians 6:1 says, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, you, black man, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. You were supposed to restore the brother in meekness. Consider thyself lest thou be tempted. Meaning that you're supposed to come to that brother in meekness, because even you can be tempted and you can fall. This is in Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. This is not June saying this, guys. This is not June saying this, guys. This is the Biblos saying this, people. This is the Biblos saying this, people. This is the Biblos saying this, people. That you were supposed to approach this situation in meekness. Why you ain't give him a call? Why you ain't say, yo, bro, yo, what's this I'm hearing, son? For real? Yo, come to the crib. Yo, let's sit down and talk. Let's sit down and FaceTime me. And let's have a conversation and let's try to figure out what the heck is going on. Because obviously the brother was overtaken by spirits. This is according to your doctrine and your teachings. A fellow comrade has been overtaken with spirits. The legions had made their way in. Which is a conversation that, I want to have, but I'm going to save it for a later time. That how is people that's walking in righteousness is still falling? How is the devil still making his way into the hearts and souls of these Hebrew Israelites? How? How is this spirit making his way into the congregation, the house of the Lord? How? But you were supposed to take this upon in pure meekness and say to the brother, yo, my brother, yo, listen, check this out. I know what's going on, but I'm here for you, my brother. That's not what you did. You're mocking, you're laughing at this man's fall. You're grinning at this fellow man's fall, and you just admitted it out your mouth that this man ain't never did nothing to you. We was cool. This is the reason why I will never, and I repeat, never go back to a religious organization ever again. Because it's really not about brotherly love. It's really not about uplifting and guiding each other to the promised land, to this promised land that we guys are preaching and waiting for. No. This is all about I'm the boss and you have to follow what I say and do. And there's another boss that hates the fact that you got all these people listening to what you say and do. So when that opportunity presents itself for me to kick you off that position, so I can take that position and be that physician to get these so-called black and brown people out of spiritual prison, I'm going to take it, even if it comes off the expense of demonizing you, criticizing you, pointing the finger at you. Because they're going to say, hey, man, this is the will of the Most High. What's done in darkness must come to light. And overlook Galatians 6:1. Let's look at Proverbs 24, verse 17 to verse 18. It says, rejoice not when thy enemy falleth. Rejoice not when thy enemy falleth. And let not thy heart be glad when he stumble. Lest the Lord see it and it displease him. So the same way the brother said, the same way he said that. But not realizing that the Lord is displeased on you coming on YouTube, Sonetta, and any other outlet. Because I remember you watching, I remember seeing a debate where you said, oh, you know that other brother that was on the show with me? Oh yeah, we found out that he's gay and he takes it in the ass. That's what you said. That's not me, guys. That's not me, guys. That's what this man says. Again, He said this about a brother he never had a situation with. This is why I start to question, are these dudes really from the streets? Where did you guys come from? Are you MK Ultra? Because according to me, your beliefs and what you believe in is for you. It's not for me. What you do in your bedroom is for you and not for me. Let's not act like what was being done to him was not being done to him by a female. Now, I'm not into stuff like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's men that has these so-called sexual urges and desires and fantasies. You know, a lot of people grew up watching porno. You know, a lot of people grew up watching all of this weird stuff on television, on YouTube, on their computer. So if the man got a fetish, that's for him. But the man never came out disrespecting the Most High, never came out disrespecting your camp, never came out disrespecting you. But the minute that man fell, you took it upon yourself to disrespect him. And it's not just him. It's not just this guy. Let's talk about the man's wife who took it upon herself. Mind you, they got children together. You know, your child now, when he gets older, he's going to get access to these claims that you just said about his father. I really don't think people are thinking when they're in their emotions. I don't think people got some sense of logicness. I don't think people carry the so-called righteousness that the Biblos told you to have, because the Bible tells you not to murmur. The Bible tells you not to be backbiting, talking bad about people. The Bible tells you that. Shorty came on and said, he forced my hand. He could force your hand 50 million times. Two wrongs don't make a right. Somebody got to stand in the position and say, you know what? You got that. I'm going to leave it in the hands of the Most High. Even if it comes with he disrespecting me and make it seem like I'm the bad person, when are you going to be the big girl? Because where I come from, if shit ain't true, I'm not stressing it. You can say whatever you want about me. I know for a fact that this is not true. My whiz and the people that loves me know that these allegations or whatever it may be is not true. And if it's not true, why I gotta waste my time to show the world, to prove to the world that it's not true? And for you being in the position that you're in, being with the man and having his child, being married to that nigga, and I'm supposed to be walking with the Most High, you failed, baby girl. You failed the test. You failed with flying colors. And now you got other Hebrews listening to your testimony, criticizing and attacking your husband because you felt some type of way. I thought this was the level of submission. Submit yourself unto your master. Submit yourself unto your husband. That's not a level of submitting. That's all attacking, and that's the problem with these religions. You see, the religion, there's no accountability. The minute somebody do something wrong to you, you automatically go back into the mental space of this world. I thought the Bible said, love not the things of this world. And if any man love the things of this world, then the love of the Father is not in you. Guess what? Coming on YouTube is of this world. Going and ridiculing your man and throwing him under the bus is of this world. That's what this world promotes. That's what it teaches, especially in the black household. That's what it teaches. So you're doing what again? You're doing what again? You're going back into the world. And you guys get bamboozled and blind because they say, all praises be to the Most High. What Most High? Do you know who the Most High is? I know. And your behavior lets me know that you was never connected to the Most High. Your behavior on all three parties let me know that you was never with the Most High. And this explains why in 2025 they have yet to see no Hebrew Israelite churches, schools, hospitals, banks, nothing. Zero. Zero. And you have brothers be like, damn, Junes, we miss you, bro. Want you to come back. I'm saying, come back. I will never step foot into any organization ever again. You guys can't even reason over stuff like this. Listen, the time for these people to display their level of righteousness, they never do. When it's time for them to show that they are followers and the works and doing the wills of Christ, they never do. Never. Whether it was with the C19, JAB, or little things like this, where you would think a fellow comrade, a fellow brother, somebody that I broke bread with, probably sat in the same car and drove from left to right with, take it upon themselves to attack. And these are supposed to be the ministers of God, the prophets of God. What prophecy, what propheticness that you guys are displaying. This looks like evil to me. Matter of fact, speaking of evil, right? I want to show you guys a video. Excuse me, not a video, a screenshot. But before I do, let me just give you guys a rundown on how this started. So I did a live on TikTok. Don't remember the title. Just basically just going off and, trying to show brothers and sisters that all these organizations are tied to one. Everything must go back to the Vatican, et cetera, right? So another Hebrew comes on. His name is Joel's 2, verse 27. I will never forget that. He comes on and he demands to come on my live. So he says, let me come on the live so I can prove to the people that we are the true children of Israel. Now, you guys know me. You guys know that I taught this. You guys know that I was one of the head securities in these organizations. You guys know that. So I told the brother, I said, listen, I don't mind bringing you up, but what are you going to talk about? I do not want to hear you say Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. I don't even want to hear Deuteronomy 28. You must present yourself with a different line of a doctrine. You must provide us with brand new evidence because you're not going to teach and say the things that I already know. Right? So the brother took it upon himself to attack me, say this, say that, etc. Right? To the point where he leaves my live because after I asked him, do he know who William S. Crowdy is? He then left my live and took it upon himself to send me a text. Let me play this text. Let me show you this direct message that he gave me. Let me download it. I want to show you guys this text. Mind you, this is a Hebrew Israelite, supposed to be a minister of God, supposed to be the reflection of Jesus, Yahawashai, Yahoshuhu, whatever name they want to call. You're supposed to be a reflection of him. I'm going to show you. Check this out. So this is the first one, guys. Check this out. Put this on my screen. So as you guys can see, he blocked me. After I put him in his place, he blocked me, right? He says, Stop being so feminine. So I reply, so coming on a man's DM is the definition of effeminate. Like I asked you before, how do you prove you are an Israelite without Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68? And who is William Crowdy? Right? William S. Crowdy. You don't want to answer that. So there is nothing to talk about. Know who you are worshiping and where your doctrine comes from, right? That's what I sent them, right? Cool. This is his reply. He says, I can prove, but you too much of a girl to bring me up. I know why you didn't bring me up, and you do too. You believe that them people in Israel now are the Jews. At the end, let me know how that turns out for you. I'm not playing your games. I said, here's my reply. I said, they are the people, bro. They wrote the Bible. That's their story, not yours. You do not know who they worship. What I meant to say, you do not know who you worship, right? He says, prove it. He says, they fit no prophecies. The real Jews will not be in Israel until Christ comes back. Revelations 2, verse 9. Show me Revelations 2, verse 9, where Christ says that he says that nobody will be in Israel until I put you back there. Show me Revelations 2, verse 9. I'm not even going to waste no time. Check this out. Look at this. All right? So my next reply is, oh, sorry. I screenshot that twice. All right? I said, the Bible fits no prophecy for us, bro. You have to wake up. You have to wake up. This kingdom that you're waiting for is here. This Jesus kingdom is here, which is a fact. Everywhere you look is Jesus kingdom. Everywhere you look, it's a church. What does the church promote? Jesus. Huh? Because these Hebrew Israelites is giving you, this is Caesar brochure. We're waiting for a black man. No, it's a lies. This is his kingdom, right? So, look, Paul Solomon are all black skin. Egyptian president said the Jews left black but came back white. These are individuals that don't even understand that the person that wrote this, the president of Egypt, was a Muslim who was put in that position by the Vatican. The Vatican, listen, oh my geez, the fact that I gotta do this. Look, Egypt hasn't been black for over 1,000+ years. When Egypt was invaded by the Muslims straight from the Middle East, they invaded, they repopulated, and they pushed everybody into various locations like in Sudan, right? This is where these people was pushed to. They was pushed into those areas. So then the Egyptians, the black Egyptians, you guys don't see them. Just like the original black people of China, you guys don't see them. But that's a whole nother topic in itself. Right? He says, you are a real coon. This is a Hebrew Israelite. As you guys can see, I didn't disrespect. I didn't come out of pocket. Look how he's talking to me. He's telling me I'm a coon. I didn't say nothing coonish. I just simply asked him to prove how you are an Israelite. Don't give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Right? Cool. It's not finished. We got more. So this is what I replied to him. I said, the land of gold is Africa, where they stole all the gold that built their cities. Wake up, people. The land of gold that you guys are believing, we're going to walk and the floor is going to be filled with gold. Absolutely. Where you think gold comes from? It comes from the ground. You think it comes from the skies? You think it's sitting on a tree? No, it comes from the ground. And when they took it off the ground, they was walking on gold. When they came into your land, they said, yeah, look at this kingdom filled with, we want all of that. Send that. All right? I said to him, there's no black man anywhere that can speak Hebrew. You can't find a single black person anywhere that can speak Hebrew. And for those that's Hebrew Israelites, prove me wrong. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. If you are able to speak fluent Hebrew, prove me wrong. And don't give me the Hebrews, like the Bashem, Shema, Yasharala, Ahaya. I don't want to hear none of that. I want to hear you speak fluent Hebrew. And I got some Jewish friends who's willing to see if you guys can speak fluent Hebrew. Because of course I don't know how to speak it, so you can say whatever, and I'll be like, oh, wow, that sounds interesting. No, I'm gonna get a fellow Jew, a fellow of the real Hebrews, and have them sit down with you, and you explain to them whatever you want to tell them, and they will let me know if what you're saying is to be accurate. Let us continue. Oh, hold on. I didn't even get a chance to finish saying what I was saying. I said, there's no black man anywhere that can speak Hebrew. You can't speak Hebrew. You can't speak Hebrew, read it, nothing. But the nonsense your teachers told you, and even them can't speak it, right? Wake up, bro. If you are them and God's holy language is Hebrew and you're his child, then you should be able to speak and understand it, right? It says, my children knows my voice. So why aren't we automatically connecting to the Hebrew language? Oh, my bad. You got the precept when they said Jesus will speak to you in your own tongue. Oh, my bad. God will speak to you in a bastard tongue. That scripture is telling you he's going to come back to you in a bastard tongue. But if you've been in this so-called truth of this for 10, 15, 20 years, then the word, the understanding of the Most High, according to the Biblos, you're supposed to be one. But you're not. You're not. There's not a single teacher. IUIC, GOCC, ISUPK. None of these people can speak fluent Hebrew, son. Right? I said, everything that I'm telling you, you can't prove. Everything I'm telling you, you can't prove. Proof because it's all lies. Like I said before, look up William S. Crowdy, right? This is what he replied to me, guys. Check this out. He says, I'll go live, but I know you won't go. You like to type. I'll go live now. I said, you will never be a Hebrew, nor will you ever be able to speak it. I said, Pimp, you don't run the show. I don't move when you say to move. Pimp, I'm not your sheep. Save that for the lost wannabe Israelites. I'm not an Israelite. And I reply, I'm texting because I'm working. You know, I got a job. I got bills, priorities, children, loved ones, a whiz. I got things to do, right? Look what he replied. Look what he says at the bottom. This is supposed to be a child of God. He then says, then F you, I'm blocking you. And what I forgot to tell you, that even in the live where it all started, the man said, F you. I said, damn, you cursing at me? I said, I didn't even say nothing other than, are you able to provide information outside of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 to prove that you are an Israelite? And when I kept giving him the responses, when he tried to use these tactics and I was, nipping it in the butt, pause. The man said, F you on the live. And everybody was like, you see, this is what I'm saying. And I said, look at what you're doing. And then look right here. He says, then F you, I'm blocking you. Right? As you can see, he's no longer there. But I won't forget his name. Joel chapter 2, verse 27. 2 verse 27. So if you got TikTok, go follow him. Go ask him why he blocked me. Ask him what did June say to you that you was so mad that you said F you and block him? What did I say? I'm showing you guys the exact text. I'm showing you guys the exact text. So you know that there's no plagiarism and no nonsense coming from my end. No hyping it up and doing none of that. Let me show you another one. Is it this one? Hold on. Right here. Check this out. Like I say before, you guys don't know what you're worshiping. You don't know what you're worshiping. This is the original. This is straight out of Oxford. Do you see Oxford? This is straight out of the library. This is straight out of the horse's mouth. What is the Freemason Bible doing in Oxford? Oh, you thought King James was really one of us? Don't worry. I'll give you a little snippet of King James right after this. Let me play this for you. Let me go to my eCam. Let me play this for you. Check this out. Check this out. Let me play this for you. Look at this.
Freemasonry. Is it Jewish? Well, one thing is for sure, it is controlled, I believe, behind the scenes by high-level Jewish interests. I've noticed that the prominence and the predominance of the Jewish six-pointed star, the Star of David that you see on the flag of Israel, it seems to be everywhere in Masonic lodges, and there's a reason for that. Here's an article from the CDL report some years ago. It said Freemasonry is Jewish, say the Jews. Now, Rabbi Isaac Wise, way back in 1855, had this to say. He stated, Freemasonry is a Jewish establishment whose history, grades, official appointments, passwords, and explanations are Jewish from beginning to end. In the Jewish Tribune newspaper, way back in 1927 in the United States, we read, Freemasonry is based on Judaism. Eliminate the teachings of Judaism from the Masonic ritual, and what is left? And it shows very clearly, for example, that most of the names have a Jewish influence. There is the Knight of the Brazen Serpent, the Prince of the Tabernacle, Chief of the Tabernacle. There's the Prince of Jerusalem. I mean, how more direct can you be? And there's a number of others to boot. The Knight Kadosh, number 30, the 30th degree, is also Masonic.
And again, like I told you, it's not a coincidence that Jesus died at the age of 33. It's not a coincidence that Jesus died at the age of 33. It's not a coincidence that they gave you this story that he died at the age of 33. It's not a coincidence. You guys don't know what you are worshiping. Let me show you something. Let me give you guys.
Freemasonry. Is it Jewish?
Hold on. Now, you guys already know I gave you the William S. Crowdy. I gave you the Albert Christian. I gave you everything that you need to understand what the heck is going on. Right? Hold on. Let me put this up for you. You guys don't know what you're worshiping. Hold on. Share this with your friends and family. No. Now, see, every time I do this and I bring this out, they make it even more difficult to bring out this information. Hold on. You got to write it in details because they'll do everything to minimize what's being said. No, if I show you what I'm going through just to find this for you, it's crazy. Oh. They said now all of a sudden they said there's no evidence and reputed historical scholarly sources that William S. Crowley, the founder of the Black Hebrew Israelite, had a noble student or a specific name, Albert Christian. Key figures linked directly as his prominent followers or students, such as Bishop William H. Plummer, are often detailed, but Albert Christian is not listed amongst them well-researched articles, encyclopedia, or specific historical histories of the movement. Right? This is all that's going on right now. Remind you, if you guys go look into my old if you go watch my old videos, and not even too long ago, probably like 2 weeks ago, I did this. Now look what they doing. Look how difficult they're making it just to bring out Albert Christian. Because like I told you, the Albert Christian was the man that brought Christianity, Judaism, commandments to South Africa. Prior to his arrival, nobody knew who he was. They took it out. That's crazy. That's crazy. They removed William S. Crowley. They removed Albert Christian. Now it says does not include Albert Christian. Mind you, I did a whole live with this thing, this exact GPT showing you who Albert Christian was. I cannot make this stuff up. When I tell you that your brother is onto something, you guys be thinking that I be lying. When I tell you that I'm onto something and I be bringing off this information and how YouTube shadow bans and put things in the, oh no, we can't allow him to talk this. Why are they so adamant on not bringing the truth to South Africa? You know why? Because you guys don't understand that South Africa is a gold mine to these people in power. You guys don't understand that when our Christian came into South Africa and brought this ideology, right? He came in the late 1900s, late 1800s. So we talking about 1896. He departed in 1903. In 1905 or 1906, they had a meeting. The Khazars had a meeting. And from that moment on, this is when you started seeing the name change. Like you started seeing Johannesburg. Then you started seeing Kimberley Mines. You started seeing a lot of things. You see, in order for you, if you watch the movie Sinners, you will understand what I'm saying. In order for them to sabotage, you must first allow them to come in. And they're going to bite a few of your fellow comrades. And the comrades is going to come back with riches, glory, knowledge, wisdom. You're going to say, my brother, how do you know all these things? My jeez, oh my gosh. And then you get bitten. And when there's a large amount of people get bitten, they come into your space and violate and take over because they know that now you're under their spiritual control. They know that you can't break free from this. They know that you have been completely indoctrinated. They know that as long as you are under this religious hypnosis, which I call the father of the matrix, they will reign and rule forever. Right? Let me show you about this King James.
Well, one thing is for sure, it is controlled.
And like I said, go look into my lives. Matter of fact, when I finish this, I'm gonna put the exact video in my in the descriptions or in the comments so you guys can tune in and watch it yourself. This is not no facade, people. This is as real as it comes. This is as real as it comes. Everything that these people have told you has been a lie. Before the arrivals of the Euro Christians, we had polytheistic deities that we worship. Is there a supreme being? Yes. But he always had a counterpart, and our people always knew that. When they brought forth this ideology, they removed that. They told you that you're supposed to only worship the Father. When I came out and I said, even the name, for example, the name Sunini, Nanini, Nana. Nana is effeminate, bro. It's as clear as day. Even Stevie Wonder can see that. Nana is feminine. It's not masculine. Can you imagine walking to a man and say, yo, what's up, Nana? They're gonna say, what you just said? When you spoke to your grandma, what did you call her? You said, hey, Nana. Where did this ideology come from, people? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Sunini Nanini is not a male deities. It's a male and a female deities merged together as one that becomes one power source that you're supposed to honor and respect because they are the reason and for the reasoning for your balance on this earth. Are you dumb or are you dumb? And when I started seeing individuals still standing on this Euro-Christian ideology, I departed. I go, oh, no, I'm good. When I started seeing the feminine energy from men, nah, I'm good. This is not a space for me. I'm a warrior. I come from outside. What is this? Even though individuals is finding, listen, when I bought this out, you're finding books that say, yeah. When you hear the Father, the Lord's Prayer, was it a Lord's Prayer only for to the Father? It was a Lord's Prayer. The original Lord's Prayer was a Lord's Prayer to the Father and the Mother. You guys got to go down into the archives and go look into my playlist and go find these videos, bro. I broke these things down numerous of times. And as you guys can see, they're removing it now. Let me show you something else. Let me show you this King James. Where is that? Where is that? It gotta be here. Oh, there we go. Check this out, guys. It says, for the last 3 years, centuries, Protestants have finessed themselves the heirs of the Reformation. The Puritans and the Calvinists and the Pilgrims who landed at Plymouth Rock. This assumption is one of history's greatest ironies. Today, Protestants laboring under the assumptions using King James Bible. Most of the new Bibles, such as the Revised Standard Versions, are simply updated of King James. The irony is that none of these groups named in the preceding paragraph use a King James Bible, nor would they have used it if they had been given to them free. The Bible in use by those groups until it went out of print in 1644 was the Geneva Bible. The first Geneva Bible, both Old and New Testament, was first published in English in 1560. Okay? 1560. That's around the same time the Spaniards came into the Congo and converted everybody into Christianity. And like I told you before, ever since the Congos did that, the Congo remains the only continent that suffers more than any other place, that and Sudan. In 2025. Millions. We talking 10 plus million of Congolanians, true word, has gotten their hands, feet chopped off under the rulership of Leopold. You guys don't understand that this whole religious nonsense is the reason why we in these circumstances. And you are really forcing yourself to believe that a book that was written by Europeans was taken from Black writers and Black scriptures, and the people that's making these claims have never seen these scriptures a day in their life. Or they're gonna say things like, yo, my brother, did you not see the Black Madonna? Or you not seeing how they look? My brother, check this out. Go look into history. How do they get people to convert to their Bible? They must give them an image where it can fit their narrative. Do you know? Matter of fact, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Because it seems like I really don't get it. But let me show you.
Control, I believe, behind the scenes, behind.
Hold on. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at this. Image of a Chinese Jesus. Okay? Okay? But you guys don't see the Chinese people coming out their way saying, oh my gosh, this is, bro, no. Wherever they wanted to control, they gave you an image to make you feel comfortable in accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Huh? Everywhere you go. Look, everywhere you go. Japanese Christ. Everywhere you go. But the difference is you don't see these Chinese people coming on social media saying Jesus is Chinese, he's this, he's that. You don't see that. You know why? Because the Chinese people can trace their heritage back. The only reason why you so-called black men is even doing that is because you black men don't have nothing. So anything that you can cleave onto, you're going to jump on it and say, yes, this is me. This is all about us. This story is about us. His feet was as brass as this. His eyes was that. And it's like, yo, fam, bro. These people put these things there. So while you focusing on the scriptures, they seeing the bigger picture. They dividing the land. They conquering it. They taking all your minerals, all your resources, and they giving you the short end of the stick. Whether you in AC or you are AK, they're taking advantage of you. They've been taking advantage of us. How do they remain taking advantage of us? It's because we still subject to their religion. Check this out. Check this out. The minute that we step out of it, I promise you slavery will be reenacted in a heartbeat. They're doing it right now as we speak. They're setting up the stage because the church numbers is way too low. The church numbers is way too low, which means that people are waking up. People are realizing that the church only means circe, which means circus, which means you are in an environment filled with clowns. That's why they dance and they do what they do. That's why they falling on the floor. That's why they can't, act like they kicking. Matter of fact, let me see if I got that video. Let me see if I got it. Hold on. Right here. This is why. This is why they're able to do what they're doing. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Check this out. Look. This is why they're able to do this. Because you're now entering a space where you are being literally taught by clowns. These Hebrew people don't know what they're talking about. I don't understand how you claiming to be a Hebrew but can't speak the language. Every culture, the foundation of that culture is based off a language. So you can't speak Hebrew. You're speaking English, which is a German language, which comes from Germany. That means that you are a German. That means you are a genetically modified European. Because you can't trace your origin back to nothing. Listen, anybody that's in slavery, the Haitian people are speaking French. That's not your native tongue. Okay? The Jamaicans is speaking patois, which means it's a broken down German English language. It's not your language. So by default, you guys have no culture. Your culture is literally based on what they tell you is good to do and not to do. One of those things is religion. They tell you that you got to follow Christianity, you got to follow Jesus, even though Jesus died. And they also says, don't you worship the dead, but you worship a dead person every single day. You put a dead man around your chest. Even if you got the cross, he died on the cross. You got it on your chest. So that means you're worshiping a dead man. Which proves my point. You guys don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what you're involving yourself into. You think you know, in reality, you do not know. Let me show a little bit of this King James so we can proceed. It's too much for me to read. I'm tired. It's too much for me to read. What I can do is send me a DM, click the link, send me a DM on my IG, and I will send you this document directly where you can read it on your own time. Because it's going to tell you that King James was born out of wedlock. And I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, all of these allegations came after he was dead. Yeah, he did. Because you guys don't understand what he was doing when he was alive. If you got information about a man that has the entire army and has a track record of unaliving people, who will be the dummy to go against that? The man went after his own moms, bro. Who will be the dummy to go against that? Absolutely not. So, of course, after he was dead and gone, people had the courage to step up to the podium and say what they needed to say. Facts. Wake up. We keep sleeping. We keep sleeping. The biggest lie that was ever told to us was the story of the Biblos, because nothing can be proven. I'm talking from Genesis all the way to Revelations. It can't be proven. Show me where Revelation is supposed to show you how the land was going to be overtaken by AI technology. Remember, he's the Alpha and the Omega. He's seen all things. I can go on and on, because that story is not ours. That story was created by them, for them, to control you by them. That's it. Your ancestors don't know nothing about this. I mean, those that was born after 1906, absolutely. 1906 to 2025, that's a very long time. But prior to that, our people, they know nothing about no Jesus. Nothing. This is before 1800. The civilization of Africa, a history to 1800. I'm not here to play with you guys. Junes is not here to play with nobody. Oxford. William S. Crowdy, Freemason. Frank Cherry, Freemason. How did slaves get access to the Torah? How did slaves get access to the Talmud? Huh? How? You don't know what you're worshiping. You don't know what you're submitting yourself to. And ever since black people has invested their time into this Hebrew madness, look at how the original Hebrews is excelling all through the entire race or the entire land called America. Cities, communities, everywhere. And they're getting stronger. Every time you get on your knees and you pray and you call on their deities. Yahweh was a storm deity. Yahweh was a storm deity. But I'm going to leave it as that. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. Came to you guys live. Once again, continue supporting, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know who this is. You know what I'm here to do. I'm here to continue keeping my foot on you heathens, Hebrews, heathenites, Israelites, Bantunites, and any other nice necks. Are you dumb or are you dumb? And I'm going to holler at y'all.